Some archetypes in Yu-Gi-Oh are pretty much doomed into being smaller engines for larger decks, and that's due to the fact that the cards that they have don't really execute their game plan effectively, or maybe they do have enough cards, but their game plan isn't all that good. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel, and welcome if you're new here. I'm Don, and today we're taking a look at Medius the Pure featuring the Adventure Engine. Let's get into it. As per usual, let's have a look at the cards. So the first card on the list will be Medius the Pure. He's the main character of the new lore, and so far all of the new decks revolve around him. So what he does is that on normal or special summon, you can add to your hand or special summon one power patron monster from your deck, and if it's in the graveyard, you can shuffle one monster from your hand or field into the deck, and if you do, you can special summon this card. But if it leaves the field, it's banished. So what do the power patrons do? Well, you can look at them as the core of their respective archetype, and it relates well with their game plan. So for the first power patron, we'll be looking at the Artmage power patron, which the theme of them, it seems to be locking you into the summon mechanism of that specific archetype. So for the Artmage, that is fusion. So this power patron locks you into fusion. During the main phase, it has the quick effect to fusion summon one Artmage fusion monster or one Nerva, the power patron of creation, from your extra deck. So far, we only have one Artmage fusion monster, which is the fusion version of Medius. If this card is sent from the hand or field to the grave, you can add one Artmage top card from your deck with a different name from the cards in your graveyard. So the core theme of the Artmage archetype is having different types. So if you have 3 different types, the monsters gain like a quick effect, and the fusion, it gains an omni negate. So all of the monsters in the archetype tend to have different types, and that's where the adventure package comes in, because they have a similar theming but not necessarily for the types and attributes. That's because the adventure package is an Isekai, and they tend to have like different characters that are found in the Isekai genre. So having your adventure engine going, you naturally have 2 different types on the field to help booster your game plan. So now let's take a look at the Doomsday power patron, and that will be power patron machine Doomsday. It locks you into Xyz while it's on the field, and its effect on the field is to target effect monster you control, and then special summon from your extra deck one Doomsday Xyz monster or Jupiter, the power patron of destruction, with a rank equal to the level of the monster that you targeted. And it's treated as an Xyz summon, and you have to use that monster as a material. Then you equip this card. Also, if this card is destroyed, you can add one Doomsday card from your deck to your hand. So what we can learn from this is the Doomsday archetype pretty much like to be destroyed. Yeah, that's like the theme of the Doomsday archetype. They tend to turn themselves into Xyz monsters as long as they're equipped. This one is a bit different from the rest, where it uses only the monster that it targets as material and then equips itself to the monster that it summons, while the others turn themselves into the material, and anything that is equipped to them becomes material of the monster that they summon. Most of them pretty much have an effect whenever they're destroyed, and that's usually the same effect that they'll have once they're normal summoned. Alright, so without holding you any further, let's have a look at the combos. So firstly, we'll be going over the Artmage Adventure, and what the Adventure Engine does for Artmage is that it provides 3 things. Well, obviously it provides an Omni-Negate with the Griffin Rider. The second thing is it provides a spell card in the hand for you to discard with the field spell in order to search your Artmage monsters. And the third and final thing is it gives you 2 different monster type on the field. So the secondary effect of your Artmage monsters will all become quick effect as long as you summon at least one of them, because neither of them have any of the types that you have on the field except for the fusion monster. Alright, so as mentioned before, once the bird is sent from the hand or field to the graveyard, you can add any Artmage spell or trap card. So this is how you'll get to your field spell, and now that you have the field spell and the Draco back in hand, you can discard the Draco back to add a graph player, and the graph player will be setting the alteration on summon, which will then add you any one of your Artmage cards because you already have the field spell. Alright, so we'll be adding the trap card Awakening simply because it special summons any Artmage monster from the deck or a Medius Pure, and for the rest of the turn, the activation of your cards or effect that includes the effect to fusion summon cannot be negated. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effect when you fusion summon this way. So pretty much it's a branded loss or a meltdown. It's not only for like fusion, to be honest. That's why if I really wanted to fusion summon, I would have set the quick play spell with the Graph Flare, but this allows you to be a bit more flexible. So if you really want to fusion summon, you'll go into the Medius, which will get you to the Power Patron, so you can go into Nerva, and what Nerva is going to do is pretty much turn any one of your Artmage monsters effect into destroy the cards on your opponent field. However though, let's say you summon something from your deck like a Fine Mill, which has the quick effect to pretty much dark rule no more your opponent's field. And you don't really have to worry about different types anymore because the Fine Mill is a warrior and you already have 3 different types. So she's pretty much adding 4 there. So if you move the Griffin Rider, it's still a quick effect. Alright, so now for the Doomsday package with the Adventure Engine. And I pretty much brought us to the point where it differentiates from the Artmage combo. What the Adventure package does for the Doomsday, other than the Omnigate, is simply the fact that they have natural protection for equipped decks, and they also provide equips for you to use. So it's easy for you to tap into Jupiter whenever you want to go into him. And he's a reborn for any one of your Doomsday monsters. So you can never lose on that. So as I said before, once this card is destroyed, it can add you a Doomsday card. And Doomsday is pretty much an archetype that wants to destroy themselves or wants other cards to destroy them. So once the Xyz Medius is destroyed and it has a Doomsday monster as material or Medius Pure, you can add or send to the grave any equip spell. The continuous spell, it destroys a Doomsday card on the field or in the hand in order to special summon a Doomsday monster from your deck or add it to the hand. So what we'll be doing is we're going to use special summon the level 4 that adds you the monster, and we'll be adding the level 8, and that's really important to the combo because once we get the level 8 on the field, we'll pretty much go into its larger form, and that monster is going to equip a monster on the field to it. And that's pretty much one equip card away from summoning Jupiter. And the reason why Jupiter is so important in this combo is because it's going to pretty much get us into the Armor Xyz package. So enough of the talking, let's have a look at that. We now have 3 equipped and we can go into Jupiter. But before we go into Jupiter, we're going to use Xyz Delay to detach to set our counter trap from our deck. And the thing about this deck, more importantly than the Artmage, is your spell and trap zones are pretty much filled very quickly, so you'd have to watch out for that. We use the Jupiter to reborn the rank 4, and then we turn the rank 4 into Xyz Armor Fortress, and we detach to add Armored Xyz. So we're only playing Armored Xyz and the equip spell, and that's because we don't really plan on ranking up in our opponent's turn. We just want the Dark Knight Lancer in order to add back our counter trap from the grave to the hand once we use it. So we pretty much have a counter trap that's recyclable, and we have a Griffin that's also recyclable. So yeah, as for the attach effect that the Lancer has, you're playing an equip deck, so naturally you're going to equip cards to monsters you control, so you can still use that aspect of the card. But the main reason for it right now is to pretty much recycle or Unbreakable Xyz Barrier. Alright, so that'll be it for today, guys, and see you guys next time.